Hello, and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, and you're still here, so you are part of The Last of Us, which this is a recap of. Season 1, Episode 4. Shares on HBoMAX with audio description. Yeah. Last week's episode kind of broke the internet in many ways. And it did so both positively and negatively. Mostly positively from what I was able to see, but I also saw there was a campaign from a group of clearly homophobic people that were trying to tank the IMDb score by downvoting it. Little things, you know, we all have time to do in our lives. I love the people that have the time to do that. Okay, so, yes, so in the fourth episode of The Last of Us, we're introduced to a lot more people. So, they're going to challenge my theory of, can people survive that are not Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey, that are not the main two characters? We'll see. We'll find out. You know, casting Melanie Lynskey, who is a series regular on Yellowjackets, does not necessarily put a whole bunch of confidence in me. Although, I will concede, Pedro Pascal is still the Mandalorian, and he's going to be juggling both of those shows. So, but that was something that HBO knew when they took him on. So this show has to be second position for him, which is weird when you think about it that way. Because he's been the Mandalorian for far longer than he was ever attached to The Last of Us. So, yeah, he, in terms of first and second position, it's weird that this is his second position, and he's the star of the show. So maybe they're going to pull some sort of, you know, Sean Bean thing on us and be like, "Ooh, we got you." But I don't know. We'll find out by the end of the season, of course. But there are some people that were introduced in this episode that, me not having played the video game, I don't know what's going to happen to them. I don't know if they're from the video game. I don't know if they're created originally. And I don't know if they're going to stick with the plot of the video game. Apparently, there was some truth to last week's episode, but they also went a different way with it. So there was some basis in the video game for what happened last week, but they also did some things differently. That's all I can say. Again, I've mentioned this a couple times. I was not a PlayStation person, I was an Xbox person. So, when we come back around to Halo Season 2, I'll have more thoughts about Halo. Which was conspicuously absent from all of my year-end awards, by the way, in case you didn't notice. You know what? If I was able to do one for visual effects, probably Halo would have gotten up in the visual effects if I was able to comment and see about those visual effects. But, or if I did individual episodes, because they had a strong pilot. But, no. So, Last of Us is doing a really good job. I'm excited. I loved that, you know, she's playing around with the gun, and we're like, all right, so she's probably going to be using the gun, and then, no, she uses the gun, and then we find out, oh, it's not the first person she's done that to. Cool. Never mind. Probably should have just let her use a gun a long time ago. She's still in that point, though, where you think maybe she's probably only done that, like, one other time, because she still takes it, like, really hard. It still is. It's a challenge for her. Her soul has not been completely lost. She's not a, you know, a crazy psychopath that just is ready to pop off whenever needed. But she does save Pedro's life, of course, and he does give the gun back after she proves her competency with firearms. So, and then right at the end of the episode, I love that she calls him on on sleeping on one side, on the right ear, and he sleeps on the one side that has his good ear down. Like, what? Come on, dude. You know your one ear is bad and you're supposed to be listening for things, so you put that ear up to listen? Bruh. How long was she trying to wake him up? Oh, yeah. So, I don't think these two people are gonna kill them, though. Obviously, because, again, I think this show has no stakes, because those two characters won't die. And until they can convince me that, or make me believe that other characters can survive for an extended period of time on the show, I just assume people will only be around for a short period of time. And casting people who are series regulars on other shows is not going to build confidence. However, I don't know about this dad and his boy and his kid. So perhaps they could team up, and perhaps two adults and two kids could end up becoming a thing for a couple episodes. I don't know. It probably needs to be. We need to see more people stick around for a little bit of time in this series. I think if you're gonna try to go the long distance, this is the biggest show on TV, so everybody keeps calling me and I'm like, why do you keep criticizing it? I'm like, think about it this way. How long are you gonna be willing to watch a show where everyone dies except two people, and it's the same two people that you've been watching since season 1? And generally once I explain it that way, people are like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, it's like, it sounds really cool right now because we've only seen like 4 episodes of it, but long term, it's the kind of thing. I mean, Walking Dead started losing people around even like season 7, people like couldn't make it. They were like, I'm done by now. It was hard to sustain the biggest show on the planet at that time, and they were rotating and they were bringing along and introducing new characters all the time. And what started the downhill fall was Negan. But here, yeah, if they keep meeting new people every episode and nobody joins up with them, or everybody keeps dying, we'll see. So we're on a cliffhanger right now. So technically, we didn't really lose anybody. Just people who were obviously going to die, like the people who were attacking them, or that guy that the doctor she was trying to get information from. And we still don't know the dynamic of why there's like a militia running around looking for this one guy. And is he good or is he bad? Or are they good or are they bad? Chances are at this point I would assume they're bad and he's better. Because she is not going to forgive the other two for killing them, even though they were attacking, even though it was their fault, she didn't see it that way. So we get to see next week's episode early. Do you know why? Episode 5, Super Bowl. Yeah, they know no one's gonna be watching. They know that their live numbers are gonna go down. So you can watch it. You can watch it early or late or whatever. But they're up against the Super Bowl. They've lost. So yeah. This is not when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. This is when you throw something at a brick wall. The Super Bowl's a brick wall. So, anyway, I like I've liked all of the episodes. I think I've given them all A's, so I'm giving this one another A. I'm just able to foresee the fact that the structure and the basic format of the show of using the 2-player game format and expanding it. This is why sometimes video games don't work, is if you don't change the format, if you don't figure out how to make it cinematic, or in this case, episodic, TV showic. I don't know. But if you don't figure out how to fix that, that's why a lot of video game adaptations fail. They try a little bit too hard to be a little bit too much like the video game, or they just completely abandon it altogether, and then they're nothing like the video game, and then video game fans just get upset because it's like they use the title for the video game and they're like, this is stupid, this is nothing like the video game. So that's it from me. It's hard to appease everybody, you won't be able to, but at this point they've got a good audience going, and I think the best way to keep it going, it's just slowly just keep doing what you're doing, but maybe to have them join up with somebody by the end of the season. And so that way we feel like there's hope. Feel some hope. Thanks for subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. I have a website, MacMovieGuy.com. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description and where you can watch it. And you can go to theadmin.org and you can look up Roy Samuelson, who's doing the narration for this, and you can see what other things he's narrated, because he's doing a great job. Roy is killing the game with his narration. That's it for me today. So I will see you again next week whenever we all watch The Last of Us in the round. I don't watch the Super Bowl, by the way, so I will not be bothered by this. I would have been one of the few people still giving them ratings on a live episode. So, all right, you guys, see you on the other side.